Mizell, was a young woman who worked with the UCLA Film and Television Archive, who was a very important part of our team in restoring and preserving films. And it was very sad to lose her this past June after she had a long battle with cancer that she lost last year. Very, very sad. Nancy, we've done beautiful restorations of The Prowler and Cry Danger that Nancy was the project manager on, and she loved her film noir. And the only thing that eases the sting a little bit is that her family has become very much significant players in our work, and they have endowed the Film Noir Foundation in an attempt to, frankly, create another version of Nancy that will continue to live up to her legacy. So we were happy to have her for the time that we did. Okay, the second half of our double bill tonight, the Pre-Code Noir. I hope you enjoyed A House Divided. That was a pretty strong picture for 1931. That was pretty great. And now you're going to see a film that is a bit more of a traditional looking noir type film. If William Wyler, the director of A House Divided, has a very naturalist approach to cinema and to acting, the director of the film you're about to see, James Whale, does not. I can safely say that understatement is not his strong suit. So you're going to see a very, very archly stylized, highly theatrical production from Mr. Whale. He, of course, is known primarily for the films he made at Universal in the 1930s in the horror genre. He was the director of Frankenstein, The Bride of Frankenstein, The Invisible Man, Old Dark House. These are all absolutely tremendous films, and of course the horror genre is one that accepts melodrama to a great degree, and James Whale just seemed to really come alive. His very heightened theatrical sense lent itself very well to these films. But he didn't like being pigeonholed as a director of noir because he wanted to do other things as well. And so what you're about to see is an example of him taking his sensibility into another genre. And this is a strange little crime film, courtroom drama hybrid. And if you're watching this film and you say some of these sets look oddly familiar, it's because the film was shot largely on the same sets that he had used to make Frankenstein. So even though this is a modern day courtroom drama about very sophisticated people, some of these sets look like you're ready to see Henry Frankenstein running through them. It's alive! It's alive! It's a very interesting film based on a stage play, a European stage play. So the film is set in Vienna, and one of the reasons they didn't even bother to adapt it to the United States was this whole idea that let's just save money and shoot it on the Frankenstein sets. And they figured that people would assume this is what jails and office buildings look like in Vienna. They're all huge stone edifices, you know, that's where these people work. And it's, as I say, a pre-code film, so it has a very sophisticated approach to its theme, which is basically adultery. I don't think you would, I was going to say, you wouldn't see this film really made the same way a few years forward. However, James Whale actually remade this film 5 years later with the lead actor's brother in the lead role. So in 1938, he made a film called Wives Under Suspicion. And Ralph Morgan plays the role that his brother Frank Morgan plays in this film. For you cocktail drinkers out there, a bit of trivia. Frank and Ralph Morgan's family made their fortune in the United States as the importers and distributors of Angostura bitters. So if you have a Manhattan with Angostura bitters, you owe that to the Morgan family. Wow, that's esoteric. Frank Morgan, you probably know for his multi-character role, what he's most famous for. He's the Wizard of Oz. That's what most people know Frank Morgan for, and playing kind of scatterbrained, doddering older guys. plays a very different character in the film tonight. His wife is played by Nancy Carroll, who is one of the biggest musical comedy stars of the late 20s, early 1930s. Again, a very different role for her in this film tonight. Watch closely at the beginning of the film. You're going to see two significant actors that aren't going to be on screen very long. The cad that is messing around with the woman at the beginning of the film is actor Walter Pidgeon in one of his first roles, and the gorgeous woman that he is having the affair with is Gloria Stewart, who you probably know from her role much later on in Titanic. Well, she was quite the thing in the early 1930s, and so Gloria makes a brief appearance in this film. The film is shot by Karl Freund, the great German cameraman, came to this country with Fritz Lang and that whole crew, and he and James Whale were very, very simpatico. So you're going to see a very, very strange, interesting hybrid type film here. So prepare yourself. If you like arch melodrama, you came to the right place. And I'm glad that you came here tonight and chose Old Hollywood over New Hollywood, although you did miss that Ben Affleck, Quentin Tarantino fist fight. And the fact that Anne Hathaway, first person to ever accept an Academy Award completely nude. It was amazing. So, but you made the right choice anyway. So enjoy the kiss before the mirror.